Hey everybody, it's Joey. Super excited to post a new video today. We're going to be going through kind of a long question from a guy who appears to be like a hired gun side guy kind of thing. So, few interesting points, a couple of funny things, and we'll go over it. It's a bit of an overcast day outside, so I should be doing yard work, but I chose to do a video instead. So let's get into it. All right, so this guy says, first of all, he doesn't post his name or anything with it because I guess he doesn't want to, any band leaders to catch on to who he is. But I bet you this guy is already probably known to a lot of band leaders. So we'll dive into this question and see how it goes. So it says, "Hey, music people, having a hard time finding and/or keeping good musicians to collaborate with? Is that band you're working with not working out? It can be frustrating, I know. Here are some of my tips on keeping that project rolling and growing into something worth doing." All right, so this guy is leading off with a bit of a public service announcement. He's found a problem, and the problem is that people can't keep musicians, and people can't keep a band together, and he's here to help you. Is what it says. So he's like, are you having a hard time finding and or keeping musicians? So right there, he's here to help. This is for frontmen and women and or band leaders, which I am one. I am a band leader, and a band leader is basically the manager, the booking agent, the be all end all in the project. Which is true for me in my situation. I answer to no one. I basically run the business how I need to run it. My name is on the business license, and basically the buck stops with me. So that's the way it's always been. So I'll kind of be coming at it from that standpoint, just to be clear. I'm a band leader. This guy is a hired gun musician, most likely a contractor. So he says, band leaders, keep that ego in check. A healthy confidence on stage is to be expected. Off stage, however, stay humble. Stay humble. On stage, have that confidence. Band leader, have that confidence to really bring in the day. Make this gig work. Have that confidence. But off stage, be humble, be kind. These are most importantly your friends as well as co-workers. So they're saying, these people are your band members. These are most importantly your friends as well as co-workers. Be a good hang. Be a good hang. Make sure that people want to be around you. Act in such a way that people want to spend time with you. Never say, this is my bass player. This is my drummer. These are my things. This is my PA. This is my venue. Never say that. So he says, replace my with our. This is our band. This is our PA. This is our business. This is our good time. Does kind of have a good ring to it, I guess. Claiming possession doesn't sit well with most support players and makes you look like an ass. Okay. Support player. Yeah. Do not get weird with them if they play in other projects. I realize that playing music with people is magical and becomes almost like a non-sexual lovemaking. Do not become a jealous, possessive lover. Learn to be polyamorous. Okay, so I think what he's saying is if they're playing in a bunch of other bands, don't get possessive. This side musician, this guy is so amazing. He's got to have so many lovers. This person is just so good that he just has all the love in the world and wants to just share it. I mean, yeah. I'm beginning to get it. Learn to be polyamorous. Okay, well, if I've got a wedding scheduled for this weekend and you've been booked on my gig for over a year and then all of a sudden you decide to poly jam with some fools down the street on the day of the wedding day, yeah, not going to be a fan of that. Accept creative musical input, again, from some contract player to a band leader. Sorry, the band leader doesn't have to do anything that you say. They don't have to accept any of your creative input. I mean, yeah, if somebody comes up with like, the greatest, thing on earth musically, then yeah, I mean, the band leader will probably use it. If you are a supporting player and people are not using your ideas, it's probably because they're not very good. It's really all comes down to that. So sorry to burst your bubble. Many times they are more musically and educated than you are. So this person is saying your contractors are more musically educated than you. How does this person, define that? What does it mean to be more musically educated? Does it mean that you went to Berkeley? Does it mean that you did any of those things? Or does it mean that you grew up in the school of hard knocks where you've been playing music all your life that has allowed you to make money? Basically, I'm not sure what this person means. A degree, I've played with a lot of people who have been incredibly musically educated and have not been very good. Sorry. I've also played with guys who have never had a lesson in their lives, but they played music since they were a kid, and they're pretty good. So that doesn't make any sense. Lastly, pay them. Put money in their hands as much and as often as you can. Pay them. Put money in their hands. Okay, well, yeah, come to a gig, kick ass, be a good hang, do good, money will get put in your hands. It's that easy. This section is for the support players. Be on time to gigs and rehearsal. Okay, great. You've cracked the code. Show some professionalism and courtesy to those you are working with. Do your homework and come to rehearsals prepared to do the material and leave them stunned with how on top of it you are. I mean, yeah, now this guy's speaking my language. Now I'm starting to kind of get lathered up a little bit, getting a little bit excited. This guy's, slowly becoming a good hang. Don't try to dominate the project by refusing to do certain songs or demanding certain songs to be played that the leader might not be comfortable with. Who is this guy? Is this the same dude? I mean, this guy, I'm hiring him tomorrow. I want to put money into his hands. This guy makes me happy now. Be a slave to the song. Weave and listen. Give space and don't step on each other. Never step on each other. That's good. You'll get a chance to solo. Just don't do it over the vocal lines or each other. Great advice. Show some stage presence. This guy is all of a sudden my favorite player on earth. I mean, who is this guy? I wish he wasn't anonymous because, I would fly this guy out here to play this weekend. Don't stand like a statue and stare at your fretboard for the love of God. This is true. If you're a band, you're entertainment. And if you're playing a gig and you're just standing there, and that's really boring. People want to see movement. The more you move around, the more it gets them excited. The more you kind of get crazy, the more crazy they get. I played with a lot of people who just kind of, like they got concrete shoes on, it is what it is. It's just if you're a supporting player or whatever, yeah, try to move around a little bit. Nobody cares if you're going to be Angus Young on stage and, that kind of thing, but just move around a little bit. I agree 100%. Move to the music. Smile, laugh, and dance. Yeah. Yeah. This energy will transfer the audience and create a better show. 100%. That's totally true. Do not get hammered, however, and act a fool and ruin the entire band's reputation at a venue because of your actions. Yeah, this is something that people know about me. This band, I've never allowed drinking. I don't, it's not because players will, screw up on stage, although that is a worry. Mostly it's like if, you drove to the gig or whatever, I would just feel terrible if somebody drove to my gig got hammered, drove out drunk, and then died or killed somebody, I mean, there'd be a lot of responsibility I would feel, to myself, for kind of creating that situation that happened in. Now, I didn't drink and I didn't drive and I didn't do those things, but everybody kind of coming together sort of in my event, I would carry that with me for a long time to come, and it would really wear on me. And I myself have not drank or smoked or done any drugs since 2001. So I've been sober for a long time, and I appreciate sober musicians, and I appreciate like everybody kind of being on their best behavior when they're at an event, because the venue is watching, the client's watching, wedding professionals are watching, and the last thing you want is for them to go to their other wedding professionals and say, hey, this band got hammered, and we're assholes, so be careful when you're, recommending them for a gig to one of your clients. So you don't ever want that, period. So I don't put up with any of that. Nobody is allowed to drink at any of my gigs. I just don't do it. If you got a problem with that, go find somebody else to play with. It's not something that I care to negotiate with. If you absolutely have to have a drink to play at a work situation, then, I don't really care to work with someone that, has to have drinks to play a gig. So yeah, I agree with that. I love this guy. I mean, this dude is, I mean, come on. Lastly, if you're in several projects and there is a conflict on gig dates, communication is key. Give the band plenty of time to find a fill-in. So that's not how it works. If you have a death in the family, then yeah, that's an issue. If something comes up and it's a situation with an emergency, yeah, that comes up. But if you're just going to do another gig or whatever and just say, oh, well, you can find a sub. Or what's even worse is when they recommend somebody that you don't even know, said, oh, this guy will pick up my gig. It's like, dude, fuck off. Don't come at me with that shit. If I ask you for somebody, then yeah, maybe. Like if it's an emergency and you had a death in the family, that's okay. But if you're going to go play somebody else's gig and you're like, oh, well, Tom, Dick, and Harry can do this gig, no problem. No, that's not how it works at all. And this guy even goes on to say, you should even get your sub up to speed for the gig. I don't know anybody that would take the time to do that, period. But what is cool is if somebody does recommend somebody and you vet them and they're good, and they're a great person, they're a great hang, they're all these things, then you can just forget about the other guy that canceled on you and let his sub replace him full time. That feels good. So for everyone involved, it's pretty simple. Show mutual respect and have fun. If you aren't having fun in this ever, it isn't really worth doing. Yeah, I agree with that. Totally. So a bit of a long-winded message here, but, a lot to take in. So these 2 points, part one, where he kind of rails on the band leader, and then part two, where he's like, all these things you can do to be a band leader's best friend. Great advice, homie. Amazing. That's all I got for you today.